Rookie quarterback, rookie coach. Ravens can get into the playoffs, though, with one more win. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, Clark Judge. Glad to be with you on the NFL previews presented by Comcast. And what they did last week in Dallas was fantastic. It sets up this scenario. Take a look at what the Ravens need to make the playoffs. Obviously, if they win, they clinch the wild card. Now, if they lose, they can still make the playoffs if the Patriots lose at Buffalo and the Jets lose to Miami, and then that would set up a rematch of the Dolphins and the Ravens, right, which they won in Miami earlier in the season. Now, they can't worry about that because if they win, they're in. Clark, what will be the key for Baltimore to win in Jacksonville?
Well, Baltimore's going to have to run, and then run again, and then run some more. Because the one thing Baltimore does very effectively is run the ball and control the football. They lead the league in time of possession. Over 33 minutes, they play keep away. So it's very difficult because then teams are forced to try to make plays against that defense. And one thing we know about that defense, they get a ton of takeaways. And so I think Baltimore will play it close to the vest. You don't want Joe Flacco to decide this game. You want Ed Reed or Ray Lewis, and then fill in with Willis McGahee here or LeRon McClain, you know, and that's what they did against Dallas, and it was a great formula. And you know, at the end of the ball game, what are they doing? They're running the ball, 70, 80 yards. So that's the formula here. They're at home, they're comfortable, they know what's in front of them, and John Harbaugh's not going to panic. He's going to do what his team does best, and that's run, play, defense.
Yeah, that's what it is. And when you look at that defense, Clark, if they do get into the postseason, how dangerous does that defense make this team?
Very dangerous. I mean, you look in the past, remember, I think it was 2000, when they go into Tennessee, and I think Tennessee was the top seed, or was a higher seeded team at that point, and Baltimore beats them, and they beat them by punishing them with a defense and a quarterback who managed the game, Trent Dilfer. Very similar situation here, except you've got a rookie quarterback, so that makes it a little bit dicey. But this defense now, you look at what Ed Reed's doing and Ray Lewis, and all these people are making big plays. And so you look at, well, not only a good defense, they travel pretty well. Yeah. They've won 5 of their last 6 road games, and that's impressive. And I think they're getting something here. They barely lost to Pittsburgh at home. Pittsburgh's a really good team, and you and I think Pittsburgh will come out of the AFC. Pittsburgh's a really good team. I think Baltimore came to that game saying, we can play with anybody, and they proved it last week.
Yeah, they absolutely did, and they, as you said, they punished, they caused turnovers, right, and then they won it down the stretch. What about Jacksonville? James Shaq Harris, essentially the GM of this team, has resigned. Yeah. How many more changes do you think we're going to see?
Well, I think we'll see something. I mean, it's no surprise that Greg Williams will play out the string at defensive coordinator, but he was on a 1-year contract anyway. And then you look at, you know, the offensive coaching. I think there'll probably be some changes in there. I can't be specific as to what's going on there, but I think they need to tweak that a little bit. But they need to get something back that's been missing, and I think that's Jack Del Rio getting in sync with his players. He really does need to do that because there's this feeling that you know, there's something that's not right there. He needs to tap into that, get it straightened out, and come back because they've got a lot of talent. But they've also had a ton of injuries on the offensive line. That was early. That's been a problem for them.
Yeah, and been a big problem as to why they haven't been able to run. You can't run against other teams. You're going to struggle to run against Baltimore as well. Real quickly, when you talk about Jacksonville in this game specifically, they've had 10 days off. They were competitive against the Colts. How did they do that against the Ravens?
Well, it's going to be tough. I mean, you're going to have to run the ball. No one runs the ball against Baltimore, and then that's going to be tough. So you're going to have to try to find a way to, you know, dink them and dunk them with passing. David Garrard, I don't have a lot of faith that he can do that. The deck is really stacked against him, and they're playing with 49 cards here. It's going to be really, really tough. They're going to have to hope for some kind of takeaway here, turnover there. I mean, something's going to have to happen for them, and I just don't see it. I mean, it's really going to be difficult.
All right, let's take a look at what AccuScore sees. The computer, 10,000 tests, 10,000 results, and they don't see it either. They like the Ravens to win this football game 80% of the time. So what do you think?
Yeah, I like the Ravens at home with a lot to play for, and I do think they've got everything on their side, including momentum, so I like Baltimore.
All right, we'll see how it plays out. You can see the game on CBS, and for more on this one or any other here in Week 17, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. Watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. Clark Judge, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.